What's the word, everyone? I'm your host, Critical, and if you're like me, finding a place to eat is never an easy thing to do. Whether I'm in my hometown of Seaport, Savannah, Mapleton, Atlanta, visiting family in Brooklyn, New York, or just traveling, I always find myself wishing I had a trusted friend I can call to tell me where to eat. The infatuation is that friend. The infatuation helps you find the right restaurant for any situation. Need a place for a first date? Trying to find a spot for your birthday that you don't want to celebrate, except you also kind of do? The infatuation has you covered in all these situations and many, many more. So if you ever need to find a place to eat, but don't want to read through thousands of unreliable crowdsourced reviews, hit up theinfatuation.com or download their free app for iOS and Android to search thousands of restaurant reviews and guides in 22 major cities around the world. Or let the infatuation do the work for you by sending a text to 64560. That text is 64560. A real person will respond and help you find a restaurant that's perfect for whatever situation you find yourself in. 1. Welcome to Critical Blues Reviews. I'm your host, Critical. What's the word, everyone? And Happy New Year. I don't think I got a chance to wish everyone a Happy New Year on my last podcast. And, because I was supposed to. Man, I was a little off. I had the numbers all mixed up. So this right here is number 28th episode. I'm so excited. I'm happy that you're still here, supporting me, listening to my crazy ass, and shout out to the great people that sit down with me, all my friends that sits down with me and review these movies. And let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to be reviewing Escape Room. Yeah, so I saw the trailer for this, and I didn't know what it was about. Then I saw my boy Jason Ellis on it from Insecure, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I noticed a lot of these TV shows that I like to watch. A lot of the characters I don't want to say characters. A lot of the actors are actually blowing up, like Atlanta. I love Atlanta. And a lot of the characters are blowing up. They're either in Deadpool, they're in Widows, just doing many different things, and salute to them. And I'm noticing the same thing with the Insecure shows, and what Insecure show. A lot of the characters are kind of going off on their own. If it's not The Purge, of course. You have many other characters doing their thing, and you got Jay Ellis from Insecure, in this one, and I was kind of interested, like, oh, okay, yeah, and then it's like a thriller, a horror movie almost, I can't wait to see it, so I waited, the time came, and I got a chance to see it, and I'm going to tell you how I felt. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the director is Adam Robertel. You might have seen him or seen his work. He did Insidious, The Last Key. He also did The Taking of Deborah Logan. And he also wrote Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. And just to kind of hit you with the log line, there are six contestants. 6 contestants are picked because of their advanced skill set for some. To use their expertise for some. So I'm using for some loosely because everybody is not that or that skilled or expert. So I'll get back to it. And, so they use their expertise to find clues on getting out of the multiple and treacherous rooms. And the characters and the cast, you have Zoe, played by Taylor Russell. She was in Lost in Space and Falling Skies. You have Amanda, played by Deborah Ann Wall. You might have known her from True Blood. She's on Daredevil and The Punisher. You have Ben, played by Logan Miller. He's on The Scout's Guide. Well, the Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. He's on Love, Simon. And also he's on Walking Dead. You have Jason, played by Jay Ellis, I spoke about earlier. He was in Insecure and Movie 43. You have Mike, played by Tyler Labine. He was in Monsters University, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and also Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And you have Danny, played by Nick Dodani. He's in Murphy Brown TV show and also Alex Strangelove. And so some of you, I don't know if everybody has gone out and done an escape room. An escape room is almost like the new haunted house. You know what I mean? That's where you play a part. But it's nothing scary. It's basically you're locked in a room. You actually get instructions. So you get like a guide that'll tell you, hey, you know, this is what you can and can't do. You can't move certain things around. You don't want to break anything. Blah blah blah. But if you get stuck and you need a clue, you know, just ask for the clue. I think you get like 2 to 3 clues or something like that. Maybe 5. I can't remember. But then they'll give you a clue and then you figure out. So each, you know, item. So like, say for example, there's a freestyle. There's a plant painting, you know, and each leaves, you know, are different colors. And you get a book, and then the book, you know, has a lock on it, and it has like a red, you know, lock. And then you like count, and it has like a number, let's say 1 through 5, and it has the number 3 on it. Like, well, excuse me, you have 3 leaves, 3 red leaves. And so you count the leaves, and then you go to the book, and then you turn the lock to 3, the red, you know, lock to 3, then the book opens. Then it has a key in there, and then you use that key to open something else. So that's kind of how that goes. But yeah, you know, I think it's definitely fun. And I think it's cool they actually made a movie out of Escape Room. But yeah, just to kind of give you information on, you know, what I felt about the characters. I felt the characters did have substance. Even the black monster had substance at times. And I'll get back to that later. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do like another podcast on the black monster, because I kind of want to get in depth. But you have Zoe. She, you know, had the smart, cute girl vibe. Didn't have a social life, but really flourished and felt at home with her schoolwork and solving math problems. So she kind of was like the genius of the crew, almost autistic. Actually, you know, not to get ahead of myself, because I always like to do comparisons, she kind of reminded you of the autistic, or more leveled or down-to-earth autistic kid from Cube. So I'll get back to that later. You had Amanda. She has physical skills, but then also she has weaknesses too, which you'll see more about that movie to understand that. But she's the badass of the film. Definitely the badass of the film. You have Ben. He's the stock boy and grocery store. He works as a stock boy at a grocery store, who is annoyed that his boss won't promote him to a better financial role. He's kind of the loser of the story. You have Jason. He works as a stockbroker. He's very confident and sure of himself and successful. And, you know, he has a leadership role, but also, like, as I mentioned before, we're going to get into the Black Monster. And also you have Mike. He lightens the tension with his humor, and he's also a former miner. He's the heart and the comic relief of the film, his character. And excuse me. And one thing about Mike is he's not over the top at all. He's basically like the guy in the locker room that's keeping the team together. You know, he has that locker room leadership almost. Like he keeps the morale up. And so then also you have Danny. He is the escape room fanatic and the gamer. Okay, so now in this story, we get to meet the characters and watch the revealing of some of their past and their backstories to get a connection with them. Not all the character stories is told in the beginning, but they eventually reveal themselves later on. So don't think that, okay, excuse me, by the characters not being mentioned, okay, these people are going to die or these people are going to die. They just they just plug those stories along as the movie progresses. You also, they have something in common, but that isn't important until later on. But each person has their own unique personality, and they have to come together and use their skills to get out of the escape room. Now, some feel it's still a game, while others quickly solve puzzles for their survival. Each character plays off one another, and at times they have clever dialogue that accents their personalities. Sometimes it feels like stupid choices are made just to keep the story going. I did notice some of those. The Easter eggs that I did notice in the film, there was a couple of Karate Kid references, or Easter eggs. Also, there was a book called Fahrenheit 451 or 451. It was instrumental in the beginning of the story, but there also is a real book called Fahrenheit 451 that was banned because in the book it talked about banning and burning books, and one of the books that they actually banned and burned was the Bible. So it was banned because of that. But also, they made a movie, an HBO movie called Fahrenheit 451, starring Michael B. Jordan, and it's an adaptation from the book. So I think it's an HBO movie, so you can check that out if you want. But that that was like one of the Easter eggs in this film, Fahrenheit 451. Just to kind of give you the feeling or the pace of the film, I would say just the feeling or the energy of the film. The movie was action driven. At certain points, it kept me at the edge of my seat. I actually felt cold because one of the escape rooms, they were in the cold. And that's not really a spoiler. It's in the trailer. You probably, if you've seen the trailer, there's a scene, they're in a cold environment. And so, like, I actually felt cold. Now, I don't know if in the movie theater they turned the air condition up, to make you feel it. But, I felt cold. Like, I felt, a little antsy at times, because I can imagine, like, my worst thing is being in the cold. I hate being cold, especially my ears. I hate my ears are cold. So anyway, that's really sensitive, like sensitive part of my body. Pause. But yeah, anyway, another room was the upside down pool room. Now that was cool. I don't want to explain too much about it, but I would say that it was a large room, and you had the pool tables nailed to the ceiling. Everything like chairs, tables, everything that you would find on the ground was all nailed to the ceiling. So basically, the contestants or the people were literally walking on the ceiling. And so they would have these dramatic shots where they would turn the camera upside down, and then it made the pool table right side up, but it made everybody else look like they were upside down. So they did little trick shots like that. And so the main thing, I don't want to spoil anything in this film, because they had to climb the room to get to certain items, of course, like to get to the clues or whatever. They just had to tread carefully. I would leave it like that. The comparison to this film, I felt like there was a comparison. I know I made a comparison with Zoe that she reminded me of the autistic dude from Cube, but that's what this film actually was compared to with several films. But one I would definitely have to say is Cube. Cube also had 6 complete strangers with different personalities using their skills to solve puzzles to escape and avoid deadly traps. So it definitely had the Cube vibe. This was like a rich man Saw. You know what I'm saying? So it was like Jigsaw was sponsored by the people of Cube. You know what I mean? To make this, escape room. You know what I mean? So it did have that energy. It had Battle Royale. Battle Royale, or however you want to say it. Some may say like the Hunger Games, but Battle Royale, kind of started it all as a Japanese film, which, like everybody had to kind of execute each other, like the last one had to survive. It had that energy to it. It also had, the Hellraiser box. The Hellraiser box was in this movie. Now, I'm not going to get you all hyped up. it wasn't supernatural, but I do think maybe it might have been an Easter egg because the box kind of played a part, but it was a small part though. Um, and also Final Destination. It was a little hint, a little sprinkle, a little salt-based sprinkle of Final Destination stuff in there. Now as the whole story or the ending of the story, I was satisfied with the beginning to the end. Oh, excuse me, the beginning to the resolution. But once you got to the resolution, it was a little lame. It got weird. It actually, I won't say it got just weird. I'm not going to use that term. I'm using it loosely. It actually just like untwined. It just came apart. You know, like it was so solid. You know, I mean, the only example I can think about is just taking a good dump and then all of a sudden you just fart at the end. You know what I'm saying? There's just no more left. You know, just a fart. That's a terrible example. I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now. But anyway, but yeah, it was really like it was nothing left. You know, like toward the end of the movie, it was like it was grasping for straws. Like you could really feel like I was at the edge of my seat, and you can really feel yourself. Well, I really felt myself come back to reality. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Why is this movie ending this way? You know what I mean? It felt like it was unfinished. You know, I don't know what it was. I don't know if the person that was helping them out stopped helping. You know, I don't know, but it felt really unfinished at the end. And I'm just gonna give you a little name that you guys can probably figure out. It's in the film. It's a twist. I don't think you guys are gonna figure it out. Is Dr. Wootan Yu. Dr. Wootan Yu. Now you take the doctor off. It's WOOTANYU. So y'all act like y'all contestants on the Soul Train and go to the blackboard and spell it out and turn it into something and see what it turns into. You know, that played a part in this film. So I don't think y'all gonna get it, but hey, you know, if y'all do, y'all some geniuses. But anyway, I give this film 7.5 puzzle boxes. Yep, 7.5 puzzle boxes. It can easily drop down to a 6.5. You know, but it was the beginning. I want to say the direct beginning was really strong because I kind of expected, you know, some death scenes, like you know that first death scene. But I feel like it was dramatic. But you know, no heads exploded or anything like that. The reason why is because the movie is rated PG-13, and I didn't know. I thought I was going to read it R. But you know what? Good news is I wasn't distracted by it. Usually that agitates me. When a movie is rated PG-13, especially a thriller or horror movie, I think those are stupid. But I was so distracted to the point where, you know, it was cool. Like, I didn't notice, like, you know, I didn't notice it till, like, the end that it was rated PG-13. You know, when I got home and everything, the next day, or next couple of days, I'm like, oh, this movie is rated PG-13. And I didn't know that. So, that was cool. But yeah, I definitely want to get into the Black Monster part of the story, but I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be some spoilers, but I'm not gonna tell the whole, I'm not gonna spoil like the whole movie. I'm just gonna, there's certain things that might spoil the movie by discussing the Black Monster, discussing Jason, who is played by Jay Ellis. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it off there, and I'm gonna drop another one. It's gonna be a part B, and it's gonna be discussing the Black Monster of Jason. All right. So you go ahead, you know, hit me up, you know, Critical Blues Reviews on Instagram. Send me a message. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree or disagree. If you saw the movie, tell me if I'm reaching. I don't think I'm reaching, because actually I was watching it and I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, I did like the beginning. The beginning and the middle. The resolution got a little weak, but other than that, I say it's worth checking out, and I'm gonna get into the other part. Okay, all right, y'all take it light. All right, one.